What's going on, everyone? So I did a poll and I asked everyone what they would want to learn about when it comes to financial markets and real-time data, and the most popular choice was technicals. So we're going to go over how to monitor real-time technicals. We're going to use the RSI, and just fair warning, to monitor real-time technicals in financial markets, you're going to have some kind of an API service, because as far as I know, there's not any kind of free service that offers real-time granularity for this data. So for this video, we're going to be utilizing the Polygon.io REST API. If you don't have an API key with them, and you're interested in this program and you want to sign up, you can actually get a 10% discount by utilizing FUDSTOP, FUDSTOP, all caps, at checkout as a coupon code, and you will receive 10% off. So for this project, what we're going to go ahead and install the necessary packages. And if for those of you following the Discord bot project, you can actually incorporate this into that project by just making sure you activate your environment, pip installing any of these packages you don't already have, and then creating a new file in our folder called poly.py. So I'm going to activate our environment, which mine is named Discord bot, and I'm going to break this into two videos. The first one is going to be how to show you how to get the real-time data to VS Code in your terminal and monitor stocks in real time from your terminal. And then the video 2, I'm going to show you how to actually integrate all of this with Discord so that you can actually monitor technicals in real time with your Discord groups. So from here, we're going to pip install. We're going to need AIO HTTP for the second part of this tutorial. So we're going to install AIO HTTP. That's going to be for handling asynchronous requests. We're going to do pip install requests if you don't have it already for the Polygon API. We're going to do pip install Discord_webhook. This is going to be the library to integrate the Discord webhooks, which we will need. Pip install Discord webhook. Already have it, and that should be all we need for now. So now I'm going to go ahead and head over to the Polygon website to show you what it looks like. Let's go ahead and take a look here. So this is the relative strength index from Polygon. They offer the MACD, the EMA, the SMA, and the RSI. So we're going to monitor the RSI in real time. Just for now, we're going to use Apple. We're not going to use a timestamp because we're doing it in real time. We're going to use the hour time span. We don't need a time frame, but we're going to use the hour time span. So we're going to be monitoring this on the hour time frame. We're going to do adjusted data so it accounts for splits and corporate actions. We're going to use a standard 14-day window. We're going to use the closing series type. And then for the expand underlying, if you wanted to see the underlying data that comes with this, as far as the calculations used to make the RSI data, then you can do that as well. But for this tutorial, I'm going to leave this blank. The order is going to be descending order so that we get the most recent RSI value first. And then we're going to set the limit to 50. We're only going to need the latest value. So after you get all that entered in, you basically just copy this URL. And if you're logged in, it will display your API key at the end here. So if you're logged in, you won't even have to do anything once you get to the terminal as far as mess with this URL until we get to a little bit later in the tutorial. But just for testing purposes, you can just copy this over. We're going to head over to VS Code, and we're going to paste this in the terminal after we do our imports. So for now, we're going to import Discord webhook for later, AIO HTTP for later, import requests, and then we'll need DisSnake as well. That's another one I didn't mention. You will need DisSnake installed as well if you don't have that already. Oh, AIO HTTP. And then that's all the imports we need to do for now. We're going to go ahead and define that URL as URL equals, and then in quotes, put an F quotes, paste the URL. And then you're also going to want to import from your configuration file, from config import Polygon key. And whenever you get your Polygon key, just paste it in your config file right next to your Discord bot token and any other tokens you may have so we can import it and use it appropriately. So we have the URL posted. Let's go ahead and query this URL so that we can get the data back and see if it all works. So response equals request.get. Spell requests right. And then we're just going to pass in the URL and then .json at the end. And then from here, we're going to do results equals response.results. I'm sorry, response results. Now, if you didn't know that was the first key in the response, to get it, you would just do for I in response, print I, and I'm going to print this to the terminal real quick to show you. You see there at the bottom, I'm going to bring this up so you can see it. Those are the attributes that are available from the URL that we just copied and pasted. So we have results, status, request ID, and next URL. We're not going to need the next URL in this case because that's just for pagination. For example, if we did the limit as 5,000, it only displays a number of limits or a number of results per page, so we'd have to do pagination. But for this one, we won't need it because we just need the first value. So we have results as response results. We're actually going to handle for none here, so we're going to do actually, in this case, no, because we're just doing a single ticker. That's for later. So we're going to print the results to the terminal. So this is the data accompanying Apple and the RSI. So to get the individual attributes, what we can do, we can say for I in results, same process, print I. And then you can see here that it comes up with, I may have to run that again, underlying and values. So we don't have the underlying data, so we're going to just use values, only one attribute to worry about. So values equals, and then we're going to set this as, we're going to do this first, if results is not none, values equals results dot get values none. Now we can go ahead and print out values, see if we get anything back in the terminal. And we do. So these are all the values back. So now we just get a more consolidated list here. Timestamp, value. That's the only two attributes we'll need to get. So from here, if values is not none, value equals, and then we have to do list comprehension here since these are lists. I value, if I value is not none, else none, for I in values. And then we are going to print off the value list. Let's call this RSI value so we don't get confused. RSI values because it is plural, a list. So we're going to print RSI values to see anything back, and we do. So that's the list of the RSI values that were returned with this command here. So from here, what we can do, since we have the RSI values now what we can do to monitor these tickers in real time, we're going to go ahead and define a list of tickers. So tickers equals, let's do Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, let's do Chewy, let's do AMC, let's do GME, let's do Nvidia, let's do AMD, let's do Meta, let's do Snap, let's do a couple more. Let's do Adobe, and let's do Macy's. Okay, so now all we got to do is for I in tickers, or let's do for ticker in tickers. We're going to tab all of this over and see if we can get the RSI values back for every ticker on that list now instead of just Apple. But before we can do that, we have to change this to ticker. And then we got to move the tickers list above the URL. And then we're going to copy the URL and do this here. So that should be able to print out all of the values. Let's see what happens. Perfect. So that was all the RSI values for each ticker, but we only need the first one. So what we're going to do is RSI value equals RSI values with the 0 index. And then what we can do is we can print RSI for ticker is RSI value. And then we can do this. If RSI value is greater than or equal to 70, print RSI for ticker is overbought on the hour. with an RSI of RSI values. Just like that. I'm going to put an F string there too. So if it's over 70, the RSI for ticker is overbought on the hour with an RSI of RSI values. If RSI value is less than or equal to 30, print F RSI for ticker is oversold on the hour with an RSI F string of RSI value. So let's go ahead and print this now to the terminal and see what we get back. Whoops, I didn't zero index it off. My bad. RSI value, not values. Let's try that again. Make sure to zero index everything off because we only need the latest value. Whoops. I think it may be actually adding in the timestamp there. So we're going to do this. Let's try, let me look at that response object real quick. No, okay, it has the RSI value. RSI value equals RSI values 0. Okay, that's right. RSI value. Try this again. Float object is not subscriptable. Let's see where this error is going up. I don't see any specific error though. What is it doing? Oh, whoops! I double zero indexed it. My bad. Still not doing it. Yeah, so I can't. Yeah, I can't double zero index it out like that. Okay, so there we go. RSI for Microsoft is overbought. RSI for Meta is overbought on the 1 hour with an RSI. So of those ticker lists or tickers in that list that we just used, those were the only two that were throwing either an overbought or oversold signal. So what we can do from here is I'm going to run over to ChatGPT for a second. Let me turn this over. And I'm going to say, create a list of tickers that are popular in financial markets as a Python list. And it's going to whip out a big list for us. Please add 200 tickers. And we'll add the 200 tickers for us. And then we're going to be able to utilize all of these in the program. And then I'll show you how to convert it to real time, and we'll be done. I haven't heard of some of these. I don't know if all of these are popular. Okay, so we got our big list now. We copy that code and head over to the terminal again. And we're going to paste this list now in place of this one. Perfect. So we're going to do the same thing for ticker and tickers. And we're going to do, let's just run it to see if it works first of all. But there's a problem though. You see how slow this is going? We're going to have to increase the speed at which we are gathering this data, which that is what the AIO HTTP program is for. Look at all those overbought and oversold tickers. Damn, everything's overbought, man. Crazy. Real-time data. All right, so we know this is working. Let's enhance the speed at which this operates. I'm going to zoom out for a second. So how to convert this? We're going to do this. Async def monitor RSI. We're going to define a function here. We're going to pass in, no, we're not going to pass in anything. We don't need to. Tab all this over once. And then we're going to do this. Async with AIO HTTP.client session. Zoom in again. As session. Async with session.get. And then That's where the URL is going to come into place. Copy this. And we're just going to leave this in here like this. And we're going to do as RESPONSE as response. And then we just tab this over twice now. We can remove this because the data is going to be await response.json because we have to await it now since we are doing asynchronous programming now. So we have data equals await response.json, results equals response results. That looks right. And we have to change this to data results. And then everything else should work the same. Let's see if it runs any faster. Just to initiate this, we have to do asyncio. We have to import asyncio. Forgot that. Asyncio.run monitor RSI, and then we don't have to pass in any arguments. Let's see if it goes any faster. Whoops. We're ticker in tickers. Oh, whoops. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's pass in. We have to pass in tickers. Tickers equals tickers. Let's try that. Still throwing an error for the ticker attribute. Where is it? This here. Oh, okay. Whoops. Put that above the second async line. And then tab all this over. Or just tab this over. This should do it. Going a little faster. But you can make it even quicker than this. Ideally, we would want to make it extremely, extremely fast by making workers and stuff like that. I will show you how to do that in the next one. As far as the Discord integration, because you will definitely need it for there. Because this will be, you will want to monitor this as quickly as possible. But since we're on the hour, technically speaking, we wouldn't have to iterate over these more than, once per hour. But that's basically it. And all we have to do now is simply do while true. And then basically run it again. It just iterated through all those tickers, all 200 in about a minute. So now we're just going to run this again with the while true loop. And this will run indefinitely until we decide to stop it. I think I put the while true loop in one spot too early. Let's do the while true here. While true. And then we're going to go ahead and just tab all this over and refresh the program. Where is our output? It's running. I can hear it. Oh, stop giving me trouble here. I'm going to try to print the data out to see if we can get any response from the data. Okay, you see how much faster it's going? With the async requests? I think I may have done a tab too far over here. Results equals data results. That's right. I wonder why I'm not getting my print statements for the RSI value. Let's do print values. I remove the while true. Does it work? Yeah, it works on there. Okay, interesting. Let's try to do it up here. Oops, did that too far. There we go. Okay, so now it's going to be running indefinitely, okay, because we have the while true loop on. So this is how you do it. I mean, this is how you monitor it, and this is real-time data. Let's go look at, actually, we don't need anything else to do. This is it. We're done. So we're overbought in the hour, and it's letting us know which of these tickers in that list of 200 are overbought or oversold, which is this list here. Basically everything is overbought on the hour. So there you have it. How to monitor real-time technicals utilizing the Polygon API and a little bit of Python. Next time I will go over part 2, how to integrate this with Discord and make custom technical feeds. So y'all have a good one.